I need to bash my head against the YouTube wall. That's all we need.
I still get.
Oh no, our feng shui. Our feng shui.
What?
No. Why?
If this makes
Why are you doing it?
I've got you locked in my sights
No.
now, Cayman Chameleon.
Well, that just sounds cool. But yeah, it's something. Everything Google is doing right, so this is YouTube messing with us.
Again. Again. Oh, YouTube, you naughty little tramp.
Una otra vez. Why don't you can also tell everyone to I mean that's not a great solution. But I'm just trying to brainstorm right now.
Yeah, whatever we can get.
Named my username, and I thought it was a funny joke.
YouTube is live right now.
What?
Yeah, the stream is currently live on YouTube.
Are you serious right now? Are we on YouTube and nobody told me?
It says started streaming 65 seconds ago.
What the? I'm literally looking at my channel dashboard and we don't exist. Go to...
Yeah, I even just heard myself saying YouTube is live right now, and I am on the outside, hey, you're streaming. It just says 24-hour charity live stream. So, completely
you know what this is?
YouTube is a new SCP. Light, you're on it. Tag.
Hey, everybody who's watching this live stream on fucking YouTube, I'm so sorry because I don't know what's going on. Everything's a disaster.
I think we lost Light's audio. Oh, there you are.
I hear...
I saw you mouthing.
Really?
I didn't hear any voices. Yeah, it's like.
Oh, phew. Okay.
We made it.
It was just quiet.
Listen, I don't have a microphone.
Guys, we're here. We made it to the final. They tried to trip us. They tried to trip us at the final lap, and we're like, hell no.
Yeah, I'll check in regularly.
I want to feel left out.
It's live now, ongoing. Everyone's there. It's got 2 people watching. Myself is one of them. Now I'm alone in the YouTube live stream. There aren't a lot of people.
How's your solipsistic YouTube existence?
All alone now.
Oh my god, I'm not actually in the live stream. I'm in... Oh my god, YouTube, what are you doing to me?
Where are you? Look for lights. Where is the moss growing on the trees?
Sun's getting real low,
Can you
big
see the
guy.
sun where you are?
I already did that. Yeah. When the sun rises.
Nerds.
Now, hold on. I see me.
Oh, hey, Sam, it's been a while. Guys, here's what's happening. Right now, my YouTube account is like frozen. And it's not showing the live stream as existing on mine, but if you guys can see it, then that is good enough.
There are 5 people in it watching it now, and I think we just need to roll with it unless it dies. I will have it on a secondary tab and see if something goes wrong.
All right. Actually, I just refreshed
like
everything. I just shut my browser down. I turned it back on, and YouTube has stopped being a dick. Finally.
So I don't have to police the stream. Great. Fantastic.
Nope, I can get back in this game. I can do my job. I can do my frickin' job, YouTube.
Gosh darn it! I wish some
Fuck
people
yeah, you can.
were up later on Halloween nights like this. I'm trying to build up more interest. I became a Patreon on Lord Bung's Patreon to get into the Discord server. I'm like, would he be bothered by this? I don't know what time zone the guy is, so could be way too late for him. Hey. It's a long shot, like a Hail Mary. I'm in the Patreon chit chat, like, what time zone is he? We have 2 hours left on this charity stream that I'm in.
I think my UK friends are normally asleep now, but oof.
Well,
All right, I have got the
he
live
was-
stream.
yeah.
I can see now.
It was a long shot, and it only cost me $2. I support.
We appreciate
I'm
your
probably gonna stay Patreon because I actually do
sacrifices.
want to support Lord Bung. But
It was just a traumatic event, man. You gotta you
Fair.
try and just get by. All right, so I've got a live stream. We've got our charity link all set up. We are ready for action. We are good. What are we doing?
goat. I was making a couple of goat noises when we were swapping around earlier, and so I started looking up goat SCPs, and I found a mimetic anomaly known as 2576, which is a pretty funny goat. There's one goat that can consume any amount of matter through its body, like anything it could consume. And then there's the mimetic goat. It's a goat that only exists by merit of other people being aware of its existence that you know.
Oh my god,
Yes.
the list title is Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Goat. I love this.
It's a short SCP with a dialogue between the SCP itself, Dr. Bakuri, and Mr. Abassi. I want to take 2576.
Oh my god, I love this. I haven't read this
I'm
one
gonna
before,
take
but
a
I think we
side
should read
step on
it.
this one so I can finish my food that I made. So you guys handle this sucker. I'm glad the tech is not working.
All right. So,
Yeah.
do you want to take Dr. Bakuri and Mr. Abassi, or I'm wanting to read the general. All right. If Kaiman,
I'll take Dr. Bakuri,
Kaiman
sure.
Chameleon shows up, he can take Mr. Abassi.
I'll take Mr. Abassi.
All right. I want to be the goat because looking at his dialogue, as little as it is, it's beautiful and glorious, and I want it. Since I have less to say,
It is.
as the goat,
Who
I
wants
can
to read
take
the article text?
Hold on, I forgot something.
So-
My roommate kicked me out because I was making
Sounds
too much noise. So
This SCP has mimetic inoculation required. By continuing to read this page, you agree to be mimetically inoculated by a Class 2 mimetic hazard. As to perceive the mimetic entity described in this file, there is currently no way to undo this mimetic inoculation. Individuals assigned to SCP-2576 are required to be inoculated. To be inoculated, please observe the image contained in this file and read the caption beneath it. Personnel who are properly inoculated should be able to perceive the image as it is described in the caption.
hey, sorry to interrupt, but I just realized there's no way I can possibly read the article right now because I'm on my mobile and currently walking around.
Rest in tostadas.
Gotcha.
Just
I can take Mr. Abassi.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry
Okay,
about that.
I can read both too if we want, either way.
So, special containment procedures. SCP-25, this is a Euclid class SCP object, and SCP-2576 and Joseph Abbasi are contained in a low-security dormitory at Area 12 and under the jurisdiction of the Foundation Parazoology Department. Joseph Abbasi has expressed no desire to leave Area 12, and as such will likely sustain 2576's containment indefinitely. Research into SCP-2576's status in the event of Mr. Abbasi's death is ongoing. Description: 2576 is a memetic non-entity capable of being perceived only by humans who are aware of its perception by other humans. So basically, you can only see this thing if you know someone else can see it and believe it exists. 2576 resembles a small Capra aegagrus hircus, or a common domesticated goat, whose outermost layer of skin and fur is a constantly shifting pattern of all colors of visible light. Despite its ability to be perceived by humans as an actual physical entity, testing and video observation of 2576 concluded that it does not exist except as a memetic device within human minds. 2576 usually acts like a typical domesticated goat, with several exceptions. 2576 cannot interact physically with the world around it and is capable of moving between walls and other solid objects. 2576 does not appear to require sustenance, though it can be perceived as attempting to eat grass or other plant life it encounters. 2576 can communicate with humans, usually in their native tongue, but does not produce actual sound, instead projecting its voice as a memetic influence within a human mind. Individuals who hear 2576 speak to them find it difficult to describe the voice they are hearing, and their descriptions usually conflict with each other. Now here's where it gets funny. SCP-2576 self-describes as Discordius, the harbinger of chaos, and claims to be a powerful memetic entity that has become trapped within the form of a memetic goat by Joseph Abbasi, formerly 2576 TAC-B, a goat herder from Zob, Pakistan. Despite consistent testing on Joseph Abbasi that has been unable to produce any evidence that Mr. Abbasi exhibits any anomalous qualities whatsoever, 2576 does not appear capable of existing in any form outside of a range of approximately 30 meters from Mr. Abbasi. While this seems to cause 2576 a considerable amount of distress, since being contained by Foundation personnel, SCP-2576 appears to have resigned itself to its current existence, preferring to spend its time acting like a goat and attempting to proselytize to Foundation personnel near Mr. Abbasi. 2576 was discovered by Joseph Abbasi in 2009 and was shortly thereafter contained by Foundation personnel after reports of a ghostly creature haunting a Pakistani man were circulated on the internet. The following is an interview with Joseph Abbasi shortly after his collection by Foundation personnel. SCP-2576's dialogue was transcribed by an outside observer. Do you want to be
Wait, so do you want to be Abbasi as well as the goat?
He's a Pakistani man.
I'm definitely not doing an accent, but I can do it.
Voice actor type. I like doing many accents.
Okay, I'll just do the doctor. Begin log.
Well, you have
Dr. Bakori, so tell us about the night you first saw the goat.
I dream about goats. Sometimes that is my work. So that night I sleep later than usual and restlessly. Restless and filthy, the foul mind of a man. Restless because of the presence of Discordius, undoubtedly. Will you give it a rest for 5 minutes? Thank you. In my dream, I saw the sky colored with colors of the rainbow flashing across the sky, very bright. And then I saw something coming out of the sky, wrapped in colors. It looked like an eye, but was also many eyes, and it spun very, very, very quickly. When it looked at something, that thing was destroyed. Black lightning came down around me, striking and disturbing the ground. It was very uncomfortable, and it was not long before the eyes settled upon me. An abomination! Blasphemy! Wretched fit!
What happened then?
Enough! I named the goat Pookie. It does not like it very much, but I do not like being told about the wretched undulations of humanity's sins while I am trying to sleep. Pookie! The monster in the sky settled its gaze on me, and for a moment I felt an intense heat. But then I remembered my goats and was comforted. The next thing I knew, I had opened my eyes from my dreaming, and Pookie was standing before me. He was very confused, I think. It took him quite some time before he settled down. No, I do not think other
You
people
said earlier
deceived
that
him,
others did
so
not
they are
believe you
told
at
he is
first.
there. They cannot hear him either. He doesn't seem to like this either, since he mostly likes to bother people. He was not always a rainbow goat. At first he was a regular goat, and several days later I found him looking like he looks now. He cannot do much, but he can make himself rainbow-colored, so he did that. I think it was out of spite. And succumb to your bestial nature, give in to your inhumanity, embrace your lust for blood and metal, eradicate this. No.
Has the goat ever harmed you or anyone else?
Real, where I will ravage your very being and obliterate your pitiful existence. Your suckling children will weep for merciful death after I. Pookie, go lie down. I am Discordius, harbinger of chaos, and I will come for you, domesticated human sheep, petrified of pure power. I taste blood and steel. You are under attack. But I will go lie down, as I desire to rest for a short time. You will do well to tremble amongst yourselves while I slumber. Usually, but he actually
Is
really
it
enjoys being
always
stretched
like
behind
this?
the ears, if you can believe it. That usually calms him down. Oh, and oats. He loves oats. He doesn't actually eat them, you know, but he goes through the motions, and that seems to make him happy. Well, I think wherever.
Why do you think
came
it looks like a
from,
goat?
Must have been a big deal. Came here expecting to be a big deal here too, but how big a deal can something be if it can get trapped as a dream goat in a poor herder's head? He's funny though. I don't mind keeping him around. Better here as a goat than somewhere else that he could cause trouble, eh? End log.
Hey, I think I can read it now.
Can you?
Probably. I have the app open on my phone.
Addendum 2.5. Well, the vocal parts I think ended, and
Yeah.
there are more incidents involving 2576 going through the wall. Incident log. Addendum 2576.2. The following are recorded incidents between 2576 and Foundation personnel. Any personnel who encounters 2576 is encouraged to file a report with the SCP-2576 research team at Site-17. Date. September 13th, 2010. Site-17 B-Wing Cafeteria. Summary. Dr. Lauren Palmer was confronted by SCP-2576 during breakfast. It spoke fervently to Dr. Palmer about undoing the vile aberrations of her unclean flesh. 2576 continued for several minutes before growing tired and falling asleep on the ground near Dr. Palmer's table. It was shortly thereafter collected by Mr. Embassy and returned to their containment quarters. Incident date, November 25th, 2011. Location, testing chamber W303. 2576 entered the wall of the testing chamber during routine testing of SCP blank. 2576 remarked on the frailty of this dismal existence and the absolution of truth that all wicked souls must face. Became distracted by Dr. Moore's laser pointer before eventually returning to Mr. Abbasi, who was undergoing a routine examination in the next room. The next incident occurred on June 1st, 2012. Assistant Director Sinclair's office.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. My phone is about to die. I wish you guys luck. This is my final time logging off.
Carter, signing out. I have the mass. Hey, we got another donation. Right?
That was just a salute for Kaiman, who made that banner. That was just a final goodbye.
SCP-2576 entered Assistant Director Sinclair's office during a meeting between the Assistant Director, Director Actus of Site-41, and Director Orwell of Site-63. SCP-2576 attempted to get the attention of the three directors in order to proselytize to them, but was ignored. After multiple attempts to interact with the directors, 2576 became quiet for a time and watched the directors from the corner of the office. Sometime later, 2576 approached Assistant Director Sinclair, who proceeded to scratch 2576 behind the ears and offer it some oats, which it promptly was perceived to be seen eating. 2576 reportedly wagged its tail throughout the exchange. What a goat.
So good.
I love this goat.
I love this goat too.
I wish to see
Of all
tales
time.
about I wish to see tales about Discordius, harbinger of chaos.
I remember a comment going around Tumblr a while ago that a lot of people who read the site casually or read the site through links on Tumblr or something don't realize how many SCPs there are that are like they just click on links to them and don't realize that that they have titles on the series page, and don't realize how many of these SCPs are entirely written to be setups to absolutely awful puns. And I think this one qualifies. Like, it's good. It is a flawless execution of an absolutely abominable pun.
All right, see, I'm on my iPad. I can't see the title. What's the title?
Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, see, I thought you were making that joke. That's actually the... Oh.
That's actually the series title. How bad is that? Ah. God.
I mean, it's so good, but...
Oh, it's so good.
Fantastic.
And yet, so terrible. Oh, man.
All right, guys, we're in like the last shift. What stupid fucking articles do we want to read to like close this thing out? What do you just need to have put out in the internet?
Are we going for stupid specifically rather than like creepy? Which is fair. I'm up for whatever.
At this point, it's like whatever the hell we want. We are in our victory lap. If there's just an article, like just name shit.
We still haven't let you do the... Oops, sorry.
Oh, did anyone get around to document from the Marianas Trench if
We did not because you left, so we figured we saved that for when you're back.
I'd be willing to do that, but also anything else. I'm all good.
Anybody have any dreams? Anybody have any dreams?
What? I mean, you wanted to do 4513 earlier. I don't know if you still wanted to do the Moby Dick.
That one's okay, and I've already have a recorded version of that. I just be doing that for fun. Let's knock out Mariana's Trench, and then we'll see if we have any more crazy good ideas on the way.
All right. Let's see. This one isn't too long. I think I'll just do it. Side note, this is a bit of ancient history for you. This is from the first time we tried to... The site ran a contest. Like the first time. It was an apocalypse contest. Lots of good entries. A lot of things I like. Beautiful imagery I still think about. And then, of course, Gears entered this one and knocked everyone out of the park. So it's a wonder the contest or the site still has contests at all, since this one so handily took it. But it is really fucking good, and I'm glad we still have contests. Yeah, but if they just decide to call it quits after the Gears wrote this one, then I'd call that pretty reasonable.
Yeah, no, this article is a legend. Like, it is there. It is a monolith on the site.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Light, you got this?
I got this. So this is not in SCP format. It's in tale format.
We have read so many tales. I believe tales need more love. It's been a good day for tales.
Excellent. Tales are great. Tales do need more love. Document recovered from the Marianas Trench. I need to write this down because I forget things sometimes. And I think what I heard today is important. Not to me. The time for me or almost anyone alive on Earth today to make a difference is past. But someone, somewhere, might be able to make something of this, or at least find it helpful. Once I'm done, I'm going to seal it up in a pipe, coat it in wax, and chuck it into the ravine. Maybe someday someone will read this and try to put things together. If they're allowed to. I'd love to start at the beginning, but honestly, I'm not sure when the world started to end. Could have been years and years before the final bits, or it could have been all at once. Everything was so grim, with warmer air, cooler seas, too little gas, and too many people. Things could have been unraveling for ages before things bubbled up to the public eye. What I and others remember most was when the Disney magic sank. It was then, I think, that most people started to think that things might be worse than they seemed. The Disney Magic was a big cruise ship, one of those liner jobs that tools around islands and stuff. One day, the news was all screaming about how it just suddenly went down when it was trying to put into port. The weird thing about it was how there was no video of it for a long time. Some stills of it floating fine, but none of it actually going down. Then somehow a tape showed up and the news started playing it. I have to imagine they didn't review it first. The ship was puffing along, strong and fast, little boats bobbing around it, looking like every vacation lover's dream, when suddenly it stopped. I mean, stopped, like a dead halt, like it just slammed into a mountain. You could see people go lurching forward all over the deck, a bunch of junk fall off the sides, a real mess. It's all still for a few seconds, then suddenly there's this foaming behind the ship. Most people assumed it was the engine trying to fire up again. Then the arm came up. I'm not actually sure if it was an arm, but it was some kind of limb, and it must have been 100 feet long, at least. It reached up along the side of the boat and just ripped it open. I mean, unzipped it like a coat, and you could see all the people inside screaming and running. It was awful. Then you just saw something lurch up, a big spiny shape pushing against that gap, shoving in. Then there was an explosion on its back, and the camera whipped up to show a couple jets whizzing by. Then it ended. I remember just sitting there, stunned, looking at the TV, barely noticing the president coming on to declare a state of emergency. I think it was 2 or 3 days later when the TV went under full government control, but it might have been a week, I'm not sure. Internet got clamped later, but soon all you could hear, read, or see was "remain calm, everything is under control." The oddest thing was that life didn't really change for a while. Bills still came, still had to go to work, go to school, all that. Just a lot more scared faces and a lot more weird talk. Pretty soon we were getting told that whole towns were being evacuated, that there was a plague or a riot or a terrorist bomb or some other nightmare. My brother down south said that they got moved because of huge wildfire. The weird thing, he said, was that the fire moved oddly, seemed to shoot right for gas or brush, didn't travel evenly. That after a while, he swore he saw what looked like a 20-foot tall man of fire walking and eating everything. The call got dropped right after he said that. I haven't talked to him since. So things got worse little by little. People kept being moved, and there was no real way to communicate with each other that was really reliable. So it was hard to say just how bad things were. Still, word of mouth was still going strong, and it was creepy. Crazy shit, really, about zombies in the north, killing frenzies in the east, a place near the ocean where the ground was alive and eating people, a cult screaming about the second coming and killing people to buy off God. I started pulling more and more away from people, just to get some ignorant peace of mind. Looking back, that probably saved my life. Finally, one day, I woke up and there was blood on my window. It was outside, and I could hear some insane shit going down outside. Screaming, clanking, gunshots, and a smell like burning wires. I'm not ashamed to admit it, I left my fellow man to rot and hid inside for almost a full week, long after the noise had stopped. After the 5th day, the electricity and the gas gave out, along with the running water. When I finally got hard up for the supplies, I poked my nose out and saw that the whole west side of the world was gone. Now, I don't know for sure if it actually is gone, but there is a cliff that starts 30 feet to the west of my house, and I cannot see the bottom of it. I also can't see the other side of the ravine, so for all intents and purposes, that part of the world is gone from me. The suburb I was in looked like a war zone. Blood and broken stuff everywhere, houses carved up. No bodies, though, which I still think was weird. I scrounged up some food and stuff from some of the houses, then went back home. I've been doing that for a while now. I'm not sure how long, really. Might have been years and years, or just a few months, it's hard to say. Sometimes the sun just sticks in one spot for what feels like days. Other times these clouds roll in, and you can't see 2 feet. There's things, too. I run at the first noise, but I think they're about man-sized, and they seem to like metal. Other little things scramble around in the rubble sometimes, so I try and keep clear. One time, a thing that looked like a pill bug that's the size of a cat crawled out, looked at me, and screamed, "Stop!" in perfect English. I hid inside for days. There are also these big blimp-like things that float around sometimes. They have little bug legs on their undersides, and they kind of look like maggots, but with eyes all over. They eat everything when they land, but most of the time they stay high up. One of these had just passed when I found the hurt guy. He was all ripped up and looked like one of those SWAT team guys you see on TV sometimes, but his combat suit thing was all ripped to hell. I dragged him back home, and then we talked. He said he had been hunting the blimp thing, but he had gotten attacked. He wouldn't say by what, but he looked like he was on his last legs. I fed him some canned beans, some water, and he seemed to come around a little. Asked me who I was, if I was all right, and all that. He seemed kind of shocked when I said he was the first person I'd seen since the whole west of the world vanished. He told me it wasn't gone, just relocated, but he wouldn't say what that meant. I helped him heal up, and kept asking who he was, but he wouldn't say. Finally, he said screw it, that all of his orders were probably no good anymore. Anyway, and he told me. He said that he worked for a foundation or something, and that they were like a combination jail and research center. He said that he was one of the agents who went around trying to find strange stuff and keep it from hurting people. I said he was doing a hell of a job so far, and he laughed pretty hard. He said that something had happened, and that a bunch of these things had gotten loose at the same time, and this caused this foundation place to lose control. He said it became a GH0 dead greenhouse scenario. I asked him what that meant, and he looked at me for a while before going on. He said that's what they call a situation where everybody on Earth dies, but the Earth itself is still okay and can support life. I asked what did that matter if everyone's dead, and he smiled strangely. I asked him if anyone else on Earth was still alive, and he said yes, but carefully spread out and contained. After that, I just sort of sat and digested things for a bit, and the man started stretching and checking his cuts. He was starting to pull his boots on and asked what happened now. He was starting to pull his boots on when I asked what happens now. He said they have to reboot things. Said that they have the technology to recreate almost anything, and that making people is actually pretty easy. Said that they would clean out and contain things, rebuild the broken cities, and repopulate them. It would take a long, long time, but he said that eventually they would get things back to just the way they were before. Even said they could recreate memories and stuff. I just sat, kind of stunned, and watched him as he kept going along, getting dressed like all this was no big deal. I told him he was nuts. There was no way people could just forget, that this could all be swept away. He stopped, looked at me, smiled, and said, "Why not? It's been done before." I don't know if that man was crazy or not, but I think he was sane. As he was leaving, he said something about putting my house underwater. Please, don't let them brush me away. Don't let them hide us. Try and find more. I know there's got to be more people out there who tried to leave something behind. Don't let the world die in vain. Remember us. The end.
So good.
So fucking good.
Story. Oh, that didn't have an upvote for me. It should have had an upvote for me. Now it does.
Fucking
There
love that
are
one.
the world has ended a lot of times in the SCP universe.
It really has.
And
You just, you turn it off and on again. It's fine.
I mean that's what we did for color. Did you know color as we know it is an SCP?
It's a pretty good one, yeah.
Yep.
And that one is
8900 EX.
Yep.
I sometimes wonder why like Apocalypse stuff and the SCP Foundation stuff go hand in hand together so often.
It's uranium.
It's probably because, like,
Hey, Radium.
yeah, to kind of sustain all this, there's kind of like the need to go bigger. So you have to have something that ends the world.
I can see it. I think there's also something in there about like what happens when the foundation fails in some really big way, in order to have all the foundation stuff be justified. Like maybe that just you have to imagine that going completely haywire. I like it though. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Man, what else we got on the docket?
Does anybody have any feelings of articles from someone else or some of your own stuff you want to pimp? You can pimp your stuff. You can pimp someone else's stuff.
Yeah, like
What?
you have an obligatory self-plug on an SCP article.
Okay, shit. Let me look at my dossier.
Then you could potentially answer fun facts like what we had gotten from Sherm in regards to Dotto.
Bedofex.
Excellent.
Don't buy your car from there.
Could do a little standalone tale. I could do like an old SCP. I could do a kind of recent SCP. Middle ones aren't that good. I'm not gonna.
And by the way, Toad King is in the YouTube chat right now. He's chilling. What's up, Toad King?
Hi,
Hey,
Toad
Toad
King.
King.
We can do his Foundation Misconnections at some point. He has that thing he wrote.
That sounds hilarious.
Missed. While Light decides exactly what of theirs they want to pimp, we will pimp Toad King.
Excellent.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, here we go. We're pulling up Toad King. Oh, there's a... Oh, it's all Craigslist. It's wonderful. All right. Oh, all of these buttons have, like, Easter eggs. Oh, yeah, because he made me, like, if you click the all sites, then you can choose specifically Site-42, and he's adorable, and I love him. Approved romance. So if you go to the tale called Foundation Missed Connections, that's what we're going to be looking at next.
Yeah.
Then you can look at Foundation, and you can look at Foundation AU. You can look at all sites, or specifically Site-42.
Holy shit! Did Toad King write all of this?
Toad King, did you write all of this?
It's a collaboration, so.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Still, this is incredible.
So yeah, if you guys are ready, let's just like one and done these. I'll start with You Saved My Life. You saved my life, and I don't even know your name. Male for female. During the last breach, I was a researcher who got trapped under the falling debris. You were the blind-haired security guard who unloaded your gun at SCP-1305. You may know it as the Cattler, and drew it away from me. Without you, I know I would have been turned into one of those things. I would enjoy the chance to at least buy you a drink or dinner sometime at the site cafeteria, so please reply with what SCP-1305 said just before you shot at it.
Yeah,
And then there's the sad heartbreak of I hope you remember me, Site Blank. I am a researcher at Site Blank. You were the one working with me on Project Redacted. I was the one who was able to redact it, then the redacted went redacted. I hope this message will help you remember me, because I really think we had a thing. The number to contact me is blank, blank, blank.
No!
is the post misconnection thing? Do we still have to like run it by you? Because I know if you're reading this, you had to run it by like the initial authors. Fuck! I still need to finish my if you're reading like Tales from Site-64. Conwell had this whole collab going, and I just fucking missed it because I like have too many projects.
Okay, so Toki says he set up the page and opened it for others to add, so I don't know who
nice.
else wrote all this.
All right, meet me for Infinite Pizza, Site 17. To the person who used SCP-458 on Tuesday the 13th prior to 1:30 p.m., I thought I was the only one who enjoyed pineapple and anchovy pizza on wheat crust with white sauce. But after discovering the remains of your lunch set in the waste disposal unit, I discovered that I am not alone in my strange preference for pizza. I would love to meet up for lunch. Please, meet me in the Site-17 cafeteria tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. We can share our unique tastes, and maybe something more. I'll be wearing the yellow tie and the black rimmed glasses. Probably for the best.
To the one with the gun named Martha. Dinner on me? Site-19. To the red-haired female agent I saw in the mess hall on Saturday at 12:30-ish. Thank you for buying me lunch. I lost my wallet, and you were kind enough to buy me something to eat. I was starving. Sadly, you left before I could even get your name. You told me a little bit about how you used your gun. I think you referred to it as Martha? I'd like to get to know more about you. I'm stuck in the labs mostly, so maybe you can tell me some stories about the outside over dinner? It's on me. Please meet me outside Site-19's mess hall at 5 p.m. on the 21st. Sunday.
I need to thank you, female for non-binary. Me, head researcher, you know the project. You, short but sharp in your gray suit, smiling, your L4 badge skillfully obstructed. We both know how the council voted on this program, but then you swept in and out of my office anyway, leaving a stack of folders and no perceptible trail. I need to find you. I need to thank you. And I don't need to know which one you work for, but you have to tell them. We need more.
It was all in your eyes, male for female. Site-41. I never learned your name. You came into Site-41 with the new transfers after they decommissioned some of your Western Alpine containment areas. The first time I ever saw you, you looked to be in your 50s, maybe a few years younger than me, with your graying amber hair and a loose bun. When our eyes met, I saw relief across your face and maybe something deeper. Then your eyes went wide, and you looked away. You must have transferred away after that, but the personnel records must have been scrubbed or classified beyond my access level, which is in itself impressive. I've been at this job for so many years, and I've never felt anything but alone. I've never questioned that bitter truth or my life of cold service, but now the doubt is there, and I can't ignore it. I should know better than to ask now, but I have to know. What am I missing?
You're really funny, Site-51. Hey, so I'm really going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. I just had a very overwhelming apathy for everything that happens. You were a researcher at Site-551, the one I'm stationed at. A really big containment breach happened. I don't know the specifics, but we were in the safe room waiting for the MTF to get everything under control. Everyone was scared as hell. You decided to pass the time with some jokes and some personal life stories. I'll be honest. I'll be really honest, but that's probably the hardest I've ever laughed for as long as I can remember. It's the first time in a while you've made me feel better when I needed it the most. I think we should hang out sometime. Maybe grab a sandwich from Sonic? I haven't seen you since the bridge happened, so I don't know if you got transferred over or something. When you get the chance, we should hang out.
Aw, those are so sweet. You ran from me.
Take it.
You ran from me, Site-89. You were the MTF agent at Site-89 who saw me, a researcher, and ran like you'd seen a ghost. I don't blame you. I was angry with you for a while about what you did, but in the end, I did the same thing too. What right do I have to be angry then? I understand. When someone calls on you, you have to answer. Maybe it's just a miracle that we answered the same call. I know you, or at least the person you were before. I don't think running will help either of us, and maybe we can fix what we broke. I'm upset too, but I miss you more. And I don't think you did the wrong thing 5 years ago. Even if you're mad at yourself, or at me, I just want to talk. Even if it doesn't work out, I think we should try.
Missed connection during cleaning of 173 container, male for female. IMD redacted. We had to watch 173 last Thursday while someone else cleaned the container. I didn't want to take my eyes off it to ask for your number. I can't access the cleaning log, so I thought I'd try here. Oh no.
You were there when we did the
Oh no.
You can skip one if you want.
Hey, we worked on SCP-231 together. I'm not sure if you remember. If you took pills to forget about it, I've just reminded you. Then I'm sorry. You don't seem like the kind of person who would want to forget this experiment. The procedure was... Actually, I don't even need to explain it. If you remember it, you know that words can't comprehend what we had to do. I had nightmares for weeks. I don't know whether you had them or not, but your pep talk seriously helped. In my opinion, I felt a bond growing. It was growing fast. You volunteered off-site, and I never got your personal contact info. Look, I'm going through some rough times right now, and if you've got me through the procedure, you can get me through this. Maybe we can talk over a drink. I know you're a busy man, so I hope you're able to respond to this. See you soon. Hopefully.
To the archivist that saved my ass. In 2016, I put in a request to access documents on a time-sensitive anomaly that manifests once every 4 years, only to find that Ryza had a 6-month backlog on archival requests. On top of that, my request was vague as hell, less than a paragraph, but you came through for me on that day. I don't know if you're a man, woman, some automated search engine that processed my request at a higher priority because of some keyword I inserted without knowing, but I'd like to meet you, to say thanks in person.
We worked on the thing in Boston together. Female for male. You know which Boston. It's not the one in Massachusetts, but in the Midwest. We were so busy containing with the growth that we didn't get to exchange names. I was a scared rookie, and I wanted out. I was willing to down a bottle of amnestics and go back to living my life, but you showed me that we could still be human, despite all of the horrible shit we see.